over a rewound stator from Ricky Stator for the 2023 KTM 300 XC. That'll also work on the TX 300 Husqvarna. Pretty much any of the new TBI bikes for 2023 or the XCs for 2024. So Ricky Stator is doing rewinds now for this. And so Dan at True North Motos got a hold of them, sent them a bunch of brand new KTM Stators, and I was lucky enough to get one. So thank you, Dan at True North. Brand new Stator rewound from Ricky Stator. We're gonna go over how to install it in the bike, compare it side by side with the stock Stator, and then we'll do another video and show you comparisons on how it runs. So let's get to it and pull the Stator out of this guy. Okay, so to pull the stock Stator, you're going to want to get access to the side cover here and pull the cover off the power valve, electronic power valve controller. You don't have to pull the cover, but it just makes it a lot easier to get to the wires all right here. And you can see this wire is going to run up. We'll go under fuel tank and come out right here next to the battery. This is actually typically zip tied, kind of hidden under your main wiring harness here. Just got the zip ties. So let's get at it. Let's see what it's like in here. Also, since you got the fuel tank off, you might as well check your plug, see what it looks like. Doing a plug read will tell you a lot about how the bike's been running. You know, are you burning up all your oil? Are you running lean, rich? Okay, almost there. Thinking about it, before I pull that cover off, the stator is actually mounted to the cover. So we're gonna come up here real quick and undo all these connections and move it all back. This will just make it a lot easier for getting all this apart. I'm going to assume there is no right or wrong way. None of these are actually marked or color coded. Let's just verify. Both of them are pure yellow. You know what? Before we do anything else, I don't know how much charge is possibly in there. Let's pull the ground on the battery just to be safe. Electronics are so finicky on this bike, it's not even worth risking. Alright. Just in case something touches, arcs. Not worth it. Okay. Let's pay special attention to how that's wired. Let's see if that just runs under there. I think it'd be fine if those touched, but again, I'm not taking any chances. Even though it's not hooked up to anything, I'm keeping this stator as a backup, so I don't want to fry anything. Okay. Done. There we go. So let's take it over the bench and we'll go over it a little more. All right, so here we are. We got the stock stator out, still in the housing here. And we have our replacement stator, came in from True North Motos. Thanks to Dan out there. He went ahead and worked with Ricky Stator to get a whole bunch of them made up for him. And that's where I purchased it from. So check out Dan. He should be having a whole bunch more of these coming in. But pretty much he took a brand new stock KTM stator, part number right there for you, and sent it off to Ricky Stator. And this is what we got. So the same wiring connection leads. It's already stamped down, much like that one there, because, well, it's pretty much the same thing, except for we have much thicker wire and thicker wraps too. Gonna have them up here side by side. It's gonna focus here, but you can just see how much beefier that is. But we're still 100% stock, or it was a stock KTM stator, but Ricky Stator went through and rewound it. So to swap it over, super easy. We're gonna need to get that guy out, but we'll work on this real quick. Size 4 Allen. I already loosened these with a hand tool. I just like to break them loose by hand, so this way I can feel if they want to start stripping on me. These guys are very snug. I'm going to finish it off now with go. I honestly have no idea how this guy comes out, but we'll figure it out. Let's see. And just like that, just give a little wiggle. And there we go. Looks like we got some corrosion back in here. That's kind of weird. Let's go through and clean that up, but then you just, since it's stock, that guy's going to drop right in there, mount up. So I'm going to finish bolting that on and then we'll throw this back on the bike. Okay, so working on putting this back together. First thing you want to do is take this gasket, line it up with the dowel pins. It's going to just barely sit on there. Just right. It's hard to not want to mess with it and get all these things shut. Okay, so taking our stator, reconnected everything. It's all mounted up nicely. Biggest thing, figure out where your pins are. So we got that one right there, and we've got that one right there, and it's going to go on like so, wires kind of lining up. So make sure our pins are lined up, but be careful because strong magnet, it's going to pull it in really fast. Don't pinch your fingers. Keep your hands clear. Kind of like that, but pins didn't quite line up, so you want to watch them and get everything just in there. Don't try to screw these in to make them seat. It will seat on its own. You can see here we're in. Down here, kind of hard to tell, but I got a little gap. There we go. Now that one, you can feel it, but loosened it up here. Set this down, work on this a little more. There we go. Feel it with your fingers, make sure we're sitting flush. Okay. Now we're going to take all the screws. Luckily, they're all the exact same size, so this makes it really easy. I'm just going to get these started to be seated, and then I will go look up the proper torque specs and set it all. Also see if there's a certain numbering system you want to go. Typically you always go across, but not sure how KTM wants it done. Okay, so all the bolts are just on there snug enough. I'm going to run my finger along, just make sure we're seated properly. All right, I'm going to check that torque spec. Okay, so repair manual here. There is really no certain way they say to tighten them up, but they do say go to just under 6 foot-pounds or 8 Newton meters. I'm just going to get it hand snug, just slightly. That's so soft that not really worth setting it up with the torque wrench. So just going to go around where they're just starting to seat. Okay, so now they all feel fairly tight. Give them one more good little test here. Okay, now we'll just go around. Okay, now take our wiring, a few seat that down some. There we have it. So put that bolt back in. I'll throw a zip tie down here and clean up this wiring, and then we're done. That wraps up installing the new stator that's rewound by Ricky Stator for the 2023 KTM 300 XC. Supposedly this is going to give me an additional almost 40 watts to use. So right now they're saying the stock stator we're getting about 25, maybe 30, and this is about 70 to 80. So we're going to do another video, show you comparison between old stator, what it was doing to charge the system, this new stator, and what it looks like with the light hooked up. So I'm excited to do that. That'll be the next video, but kind of keep an eye out for that one. Talk to you later.